Slow internet. I'm probably already live, but it's not telling me, so I have to wait. Come on, computer. Come on, computer. I know you guys don't like to wait, so... Oh, here we go. Okay, it's Miss Anathea, your Divine Feminine Educator, here to educate you about love. Today, I'm so excited because this is such a big subject and so important right now with everything that we are going through. I'm going to be talking about how to feel better. I mean, have you been feeling anxious? Have you been feeling claustrophobic? That's what I've been feeling with all of this smoke. I'm in Northern California. Have you been feeling angry? Have you been feeling stifled? Have you been feeling anxious or fearful? You know, I want to let you know you have a right to those feelings, and those feelings are very, very valid. However, there is a way to navigate them that is going to help you to get over to the other side in a much more empowering way. What I want to talk about is a process that I personally created to help you feel better during these crazy, crazy wild times. Hey, welcome to the live. I'm so excited you're here. I'm going to be talking about how to help you feel better. If you're anxious, if you're fearful, if you're angry, if you're having heavy emotions, if you're depressed, I want to show you how to take care of yourself emotionally so that you can expand through this crazy time instead of let it just sweep you away. You know, I was just recently at the grocery store because that's a big event these days, going to the grocery store, right? And if you're here, please comment. I'd love to know who's here. I'll try to figure out how to see who's here. It won't let me scroll down when I'm doing my live though. But please do comment. Let me know where you're from. I'm so glad you're here listening. What was I going to say? I was at the grocery store. And that's, you know, nowadays that's just a big event to go to the grocery store. But I'm an empath, so I feel other people's feelings. It's really important during these times to shine brightly because there's a lot of contractive energy that's happening in our world right now. And how you navigate through that is going to be crucially important. So if you want to feel better during these transformational times, you need to learn how to face your emotions. And I'm going to teach you how to do that in this video. And I'm going to lead you to how to really learn how to master it as well. Because are your emotions running the show? Have you denied your emotions? Have you had emotions and, you know, pretending like, you know, I mean, even me, I'm like, oh, I'm fine. You know, the world's changing right before my eyes, but I'm fine. Yes. But there's an undercurrent of fear. We can't have this much change and these many weird things happening without having fear. And so acknowledging, you know, we're stepping into the unknown, acknowledging that you're fearful or that you have some fear or that you're just not feeling your normal self. It's okay. It's really okay. So the reason why I'm talking about this and why this is such a big teaching for me is because when I was younger, I was very emotional. I was a drama queen. Everything was so intense. And I literally would get to a point where if I cried, I'd have cry hangovers because just my emotions that ran through my body were just too overwhelming for me. So I would fear them and they would run my life and they would sabotage my relationships. Sound familiar at all? You see, once I started learning how to understand my emotions, that's when I stopped fearing them. And I don't know exactly when, how many years ago I actually created this process. It was back in 2003, 2004, 2005, something like that, where I learned this process. Well, I learned it. It was kind of like a coping skill because I was studying about emotions. I was studying about codependent behavior. I was studying about being with a narcissist or an addict and having to cope with all of that and studying or trying to understand how I was getting lost in relationships and how these relationships so affected me so deeply. And so out of that birthed my 4N process that I want to talk about today. So the 4N process is a process to help you learn how to take care of yourself emotionally, learn how to be there for yourself emotionally. I'm looking at my notes because it's really important for me to not miss a beat on the things that I want to cover with you. So you see, how to take care of yourself emotionally probably wasn't a skill you learned. It just isn't role modeled to us in our culture. How to take care of yourself emotionally? Well, emotions in our culture are a bad thing. You deny them. You pretend like they don't exist. You get over it and get on, get things done. You don't acknowledge your emotions, but it's in the acknowledgement that you actually free yourself from the driving, sabotaging force that it has when you try to push it down, because emotions are energy in motion. And you can literally tap into that energy and use it as an empowering force in your life. And I'm going to go through that right now. Let me go through some other things I want to talk about. So as you see, we've denied, repressed. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. All of that stuff. We've repressed our emotions. And in that, there's a tremendous amount of energies that's required to hold those emotions down and keep it together, right? Not falling apart. This is a container for you to be able to fall apart, but have a light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Such an important process. But as you start reclaiming your emotions as valid, what you're actually doing is reclaiming your divine feminine power. And so because emotions are a very feminine phenomenon. But guess what? Emotions are also that energy through which we actually evolve. And so if we keep on stuffing it and stuffing it and stuffing it, what we have is an armored force. So we become very rigid, and we don't flow with divine consciousness or universal awareness in our body. And so what's wanting to be birthed in you right now, with all of these challenging emotions coming up through this transformational process that we're going through, is your opportunity to awaken, your opportunity to empower yourself, your opportunity to experience the power of divine feminine energy flowing through you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And I don't want to forget, I'm going to be 60 years old in 2 weeks, I think it is. I'm going to have my family. I'm going to celebrate my 60th birthday. And what I'm doing to start that off, the year off, is I'm going to do a series talking about the chakras, the chakra system. And these are articles that I wrote a long time ago. I'm going to refreshen them. I'm going to talk about each chakra, and I'm going to bring that information to you. Because right now we could succumb and just say, okay, I'm going to wait until this whole thing is over with. This whole thing is not going to be over with until we shine brightly and say, I believe it is over with, and I am opening to my new life. That's what we're being challenged to do right now. So what are you creating? What are you creating? You've got to look at those emotions and let them be your fuel for transformation. So this is, okay, I'm going to say the words, but I don't like to say the words, but I'm going to say them. I don't use the word virus. I don't use the word COVID-19. I don't use the word pandemic, because it disempowers you. It disempowers us. What I do say is that we are in transformational times. So that leaves it wide open for possibilities. Stop using those three disempowering words. And if you didn't get them, I'm not going to repeat them because it's so important. That's not where we're at. What we're at and what we're in are transformational times. Okay? We don't have something that's going to kill us. The only thing that's going to kill is the old us that needed to die anyway. You're being asked to be rebirthed, and I'm here to really be your cheerleader. Get the pom-poms out and be your cheerleader for that transformation. Yes, I'm scared. Yes, I'm freaked out. Yes, I'm like, well, let me get to the process, because what I found out, and I'll say it right now, because this process is all about basically discovering your core need. And what your core need is going to do is going to anchor you in your body. And so what I needed to know when I was feeling fearful is that everything's going to be okay. That was my core need, to know that everything is going to be okay. And so even if I die, that's the beauty of it, is connecting to that part of me that's not just this ego anathea, but connecting to that part of me that is divine power, divine essence. And so really, anytime I'm fearful, because I discovered that core need, my core need, my person, I don't know, it's going to be unique for you, but my core need is to know that everything is going to be okay. And I even took a dance class this morning, and I was going to leave because I was afraid of breathing too much of the heavy air. And the next song to keep me to stay, I can't do the melody of it, was "Everything is going to be okay." And I was like, oh my God, it's speaking to me. So I want you to know, even if it's not your core need, I want you to know, ultimately, everything is going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Your job is to process your emotions. Your job is to take the heavy feelings and bring love and light to them. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment here. Now, I wore my peace earrings because what I'm representing and what I'm presenting to you, this beautiful process, is how to tap into your inner peace, how to get back to wholeness, how to get back to your center. Okay, so the process that I created is called the 4 N's. And the 4 N's is a 4-step process for you to go through when you're feeling heavy emotions, when maybe somebody has triggered you, when you're upset with someone, when you've had an argument, even when you're depressed. Because let me tell you, there is no knight in shining armor that is going to save you. How did I say it? There's a light in shining armor that's going to save you, and that's you. That's your inner light. And so this process helps you to access your inner light. Okay, so the 4N process: notice, name, nurture, and need. I've been teaching my niece, she's very emotional as well, and I've been teaching her how to use this process. Because see, when you're emotional, you look like a victim, right? But if you can learn this process, you can actually take those emotions and then turn it around. It's a very intimate, private process, the 4N process. And then it's so cute because we talk about it a lot, she and I. And so she's got the 4N process down. And I said, and then I coach her some more, and I say, well, now that you know the 4N process, what you have to do is just 4N people. So in other words, when you know the 4N and you know how to do it yourself, then you can 4N those you love. It's so beautiful. And so, she's going through big transformation. And most recently, what she said to me, because she's the youngest in the family, she said to me, now I realize that I'm really here because I'm bringing light into the family. She said something to that effect. So in other words, she's taking her emotions and letting them empower her. She's realizing, wow, I'm learning all this stuff, and it's actually helping me to be there for my family, helping me be a way shower of light for my family, getting rid of lineage dysfunctional patterns that have disempowered us and our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents for eons. Hey, welcome. What I'm talking about is how to feel better during these really crazy times. So the 4N process: notice, name, nurture, and need. The first step is to notice. So this could be your bad pattern. And these repressed emotions will create negative patterns. Some of them are things, addictive patterns, like overeating, over drinking, overworking, over shopping, over cleaning, over controlling. But it can also be raging, lashing out, sabotaging your relationships, disconnecting, giving the silent treatment. These are disempowering patterns when you don't understand your emotions. So the 4N process, number 1 is to notice. Notice. The first N is to notice. Notice the behavior that you want to transform, and notice it in the moment when you are doing it. So for example, when I say you're going to the refrigerator to get that second or third piece of carrot cake, or that second or third piece of pizza, or that you're pouring yourself that second or third glass of wine. Notice that you're doing that because you're having an uncomfortable feeling. So that is probably the hardest step, is to do the notice, because now you can change the behavior. You're bringing consciousness to an unconscious behavior. And that's the hardest step. But now you can go to step number 2, which is to name the feeling. So now you notice, okay, I'm doing that raging, or I'm lashing out, or I'm going into the refrigerator because I'm having an uncomfortable feeling. So the step 2 is to name it. If I'm having an uncomfortable feeling, what is it? What is that feeling? Now, I have, and there's different ways to categorize feelings or emotions, but I've categorized them into 4 different types. Sad, mad, glad, fear, numb, and shame. Okay. So now you, instead of thinking about that pie, instead of thinking about blaming someone else, instead of reaching into the refrigerator, now all of a sudden you're bringing all the energy here, and you're saying, okay, if I'm having an uncomfortable feeling, what is it? Is it sad, mad, glad, fear, numb, shame? Because each feeling has its own characteristic. Fear is kind of an agitated energy. Anger is like a really destructive energy. Sadness is a heavy energy. Numb is no feeling. Often when you first learn this process and learn how to feel, you're going to feel your wall that you've created. You're going to feel numbness, and that's a good sign. And you ask yourself, where is it in my body? Maybe you have a lump in your throat. Maybe you're heavy-hearted. Maybe you have a sickness in your tummy, or maybe it's tightness in your neck. Where is it in your body? Often it's in the chakras. Sometimes people will say it's in my head, but it's because they've been thinking too much. So what you do, you've named it. You've noticed it, you've named it, now you need to nurture it. So you can take your hands, you can put it on your heart. Let's say it's your throat, you put your hand on your throat and your hand on your heart, or if it's in your belly, you take your beautiful hands, and there's little energies, a healing energy that comes out of your hands, and you place them on your body and you make contact. Now there's a deeper process in this, but this is so powerful. Because I have limited time here, but this is where the metal meets the rubber meets the road, is when you're able to be present with that heavy emotional energy in your body. You're clearing karma, you're transforming lineage behavior. You get out of story, you get out of the blame game, and you find what that energy is, and you feel it. What kind of color is it? What shape is it? What texture is it? And this is a key thing. You let it know, that it's there. Because that energy is very much passed down to you from lineage, from your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your family dynamics. And it's a pattern that's disempowered you. And it's literally stuck energy in your body. You don't even need to analyze it. All you need to do is hold it in your love, to nurture it. Hold it like a baby, because it's screaming for attention. And all you have to do is be present with it and hold it. Give it your love, give it your breath, give it your light of consciousness. Be curious about it. I've been working with an energy in my throat for many years, and I've befriended it instead of fearing it. And it has only empowered me. It's there for a reason. Why do you think now I'm doing lives? All right, so that's the third step, nurturing it, holding in the light of your consciousness. And then the fourth one is to ask a very empowering question. So now you basically, instead of drinking more wine or eating more carrot cake or raging at someone, you've taken all of that energy and you've brought it back to you. You are being very present with yourself. You're learning how to hold yourself in love. This is literally how you cultivate self-love, is to be there for yourself emotionally, going inward. And then you do the fourth N, which is uncover your core need. And you ask yourself a powerful question. What do I need? What do I need? In this situation, what do I really need? You see, under every single uncomfortable feeling, every single uncomfortable feeling that you ever have, it's because you have an unmet need. And it's your job to uncover that unmet need. But in our society, we've been taught that needs are naughty, nasty. And if you have needs, you're needy. No, needs are normal and natural. It's part of being human. And the more connected you are to your needs, your core needs, and know how to speak them, address them, connect with them, understand them, and find a way to get them met. That doesn't mean you're needy. When you understand them and find a way to get them met, that's empowering. And when you love somebody, you help them do the same. So you for-en yourself, you for-en other people, and now you are helping lift each other up. And you're not staying in story and blame and all these, but you're always making a mess of things. You never give me any attention. I can't believe you're always doing that. That's all story stuff. Instead, you're able to get to your core need, and you're able to acknowledge your core need. And now once you've acknowledged your core need, you can go back and have a dialogue either with yourself or with another or a group of people and ask for that need to be met. Now, a core need is not, I need you to stop being a jerk. I need you to clean the house. I need you to bring home the bacon. I need you to participate. I need you to stop controlling me. That's not a core need. A core need is, it's here. I need compassion. I need gentleness. Gosh, I really need understanding. I need to know things are going to be okay. I need cleanliness. I need order in my life. When you can say that to yourself, then you really literally anchor yourself, and then you can move forward with that awareness and be the advocate for that core need for yourself. Now, there's a whole other piece, and I teach this in my online course. You have to embody it. And this is all a maturation process, which you have to go through, which we are all going through. This is about us clearing emotions. We've repressed them as a culture way too long. So any emotions that are coming up for you right now are your gold for your power. So try this process. Notice, name, nurture, and get to your core need. Don't pass any one of these steps, especially the nurture one. Find out what your core need is and then embody it. And what I mean by embody it is it's a maturation process of understanding I deserve to have cleanliness in my house. I deserve gentleness in my life. I deserve compassion. You know, if someone's raging at you and you rage back, you have to learn how to give what you want. You can't rage back. You have to hold and embody that place of compassion. Your life will transform. This is really such a beautiful journey, a beautiful process. This has been such a lifesaver for me. I can't tell you. And what happens when you learn the 4N process and you start speaking from your core needs, you start speaking from your heart. It's an energetic shift that takes place. And then you let your emotions empower you instead of disempower you. You literally shed karmic energy of, what you learned, what was passed down from your grandparents to your parents to you. And that's what's needing to happen right now. This is a beautiful process, or a beautiful time that we are in right now. Yes, it is challenging. Yes, it is fearful. Yes, but you are part of shedding that brighter light. And this process is so crucial for you to be able to do that. The 4N process, to really take your emotions and not repress them so that you armor your body up, but to hold them in your love and compassion, because you see your emotions are your guiding light to show you something's not quite right here. And when you can connect to your core need and speak from that place, it will empower you. So the 4N process: notice, name, nurture, and need. Notice the disempowering behavior. Name the uncomfortable feeling that you're having because that's causing the disempowering behavior. Nurture, hold it, because it's just energy that needs to be transformed. And then find out what the core need is and speak to that. Now, in this live I had, and in the video I had, and on YouTube, I have 2 links for you to check out. The first link is the article that I wrote about it, so that you can see a little bit more detailed description and you have it written for you. And then at the bottom of the article, I actually have a link to the online course, but I have the link to it as well in this video. The online course is how to feel better and flow through these challenging times. So how to feel better and flow through these challenging times is to not fear your emotions, but hold them in your love. So don't resist them, feel them, and transform them. So those 2 links, please click those links. I gave a coupon code. If you use the word emotions, EMOTIONS, you get $10 off. The course is $57. You can buy it for $47 if you use that coupon code emotions. Either way, I'm here for you. This has been a big journey for me personally, to let my emotions empower me instead of destroy me. And I really want the same for you. And I've seen it. It's so beautiful. When I go to healers, like I was just recently got a full body massage, and the healer was just giving me feedback about my body, how I'm able. He said I'm like I'm in the high percentage of people that know. I mean, I don't know how I'm not saying it right. Anyway, I'm one of the few people. I have a high percentage of the ability to just let go, because I've learned how to create a safe energetic for myself. But we've learned how to armor up. And so we're tense, we're uptight, and that's not serving you right now. You need to find a way to hold yourself in love and compassion and relax. Find that inner peace. And I want to show you that way. I've worked hard many years to do it for myself and help other people do the same. So I have this process. It's a beautiful tool, especially for the times that we're in right now. All right. So what else do I want to say? I just want to say thank you for being here. Really sweet to see people here. Please share this video if you feel it's been beneficial. Get on my email list. Make a comment. I want to hear what this has brought up for you. I want to hear what you have to say. Reclaim your emotions. Stop denying them, pretending like they don't exist, and thinking that you have to toughen up. No, you don't have to toughen up anymore. You need to soften up so that you can let the power of the divine feminine energy flow through you. That's what's needed right now more than ever. All right. Have a beautiful day. And I'll see you next week. What am I going to be talking about next week? Gosh, I forgot. But anyway, it's going to be really good. Stay tuned. Next Wednesday at noon, we'll be together. Namaste.